Gayong nagkakalabasan lang din daw ng Baho ang mga general na sangkot sa isyu ng balyahan ngayon sa usapin ng lapid case, kaya naman isinali na nga itong si General Catapang ni Atty. Trixie Cruz Angeles. Kung makikita kasi sa usaping ito tila puro baho at anomalyang kinasasangkutan lamang ni General Gerald Bantag ang pinagpipiestahan ng mga netizens at mainstream media. Si General Catapang ang agad na ipinalit ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa suspendidong Bucor Chief na si General Bantag, dahil nasa kinasangkutan nitong krimen sa pagpaslang sa mamamahayag na si Percival Mabasa aka Percy Lapid. Ang mga kontrobersyal na kinasangkutan ni General Catapang ay noong isa pa ito sa may pinakamataas na opisyal ng AFP sa panahon ng dilawang si dating Pangulong Noynoy Aquino. Isa si Catapang sa di umano'y dahilan kung bakit tuluyang kinatay ng mga rebelde ang SAF-44 noon, upang mahuli ang teroristang sina Marwan at ang isa pa nitong kasamahan. Questionable pa rin hanggang ngayon kung ano ang naging utos nito ni Catapang sa kanyang mga tauhan kung bakit walang nag-rescue o nag-back up sa Special Action Force na sa kalaunan ay kinamatay nga ng 44 na mga pulis na tinagurian naman, the Fallen 44. Panuuri ang full video ng pagsisiwalat ng dating PCOO Secretary na si Atty. Trixie Cruz Angeles sa baho nitong si General Catapang.
Let's go to who is General Catapang. Now, he was Chief of Staff under President Noynoy Aquino, and that alone says a lot of things. Number one is that of course he had political favor of then President Noynoy Aquino. Then he was appointed the Chief of Staff ng AFP. Anong ibig sabihin nito? De siya yung head ng buong armed forces. Now, nung nangyari po ang mamasapa, according to some of the insiders, hindi niya po pinayagan na tumulong o mag-intervene ang armed forces doon sa mga pulis natin na nandun sa field sa Mamasapano and under attack. So this continuously haunts him. Ngayon, bakit mahalaga ito? He on various occasions he is known to have said that they either weren't allowed or it wasn't necessary for them na tumulong o hindi po nila alam yung nangyayari. Kinabulaanan ito ng ilang mga opisyal ng armed forces after that. According to one Air Force General, it is easier at pagka buhay po ang nakataya, mas madali na humingi na lang ng tawad kaysa humingi ng permiso. Medyo tradisyon, ayon dun sa opisyal na ito, sa Air Force, na kung mayroon kailangan ng rescue at hindi pa napapaalam ito sa inyong mga commander, and it is a matter of life or death, they would rather risk a court-martial by rescuing their colleagues, rescuing fellow officers and men, rather than have to deal with the guilt of knowing that you could have done something but you did not. And this is, well, it's kind of a tradition. I mean, wouldn't you? According to some of the men of the armed forces, they were aware na under attack ang SAF in that field, but they were not allowed to respond, and the orders daw came from high up. So the role of General Catapang in Mamasapano will forever be under a cloud. He says that it wasn't necessary, or they didn't know, or some such answer, but the stories from inside the AFP, from the officers themselves who were in the area, or the men, paint a very, very different story. Judy Dudley E., who I assume is speaking with personal knowledge, says negative ang feedback kay General Catapang, but a good division commander at the time. Sabi ni Osem, what can he do if the commander-in-chief has given orders already? If those orders meant that he would be allowing people to die unnecessarily, in short, allowing murder, what would you do? See, an officer knows when the order is illegal. So, it's not fair to say what can he do, because kaya nga nang sinabi ng isang opisyalis ng Air Force, kapag buhay po ang nakataya, he should not be prevented from trying to save them unless unless it will cause the destruction of the rest of the country. Now, I don't think we get to choose. In situations like that, I don't think we get to choose. We don't get to choose who lives, who dies. If there is an opportunity for you to save a life, wouldn't you do it? So that's at any rate what was being discussed at the time. So, and this is, like I said, still a controversy to this day. I don't think that we can even resolve that controversy, but I think that it is something worth pondering when we consider who General Catapang is. Because we hear a lot of negative things already about General Bantag. So just to balance things out, we have to also consider who is General Catapang and take the discussion away from the bosses. Kasi I think right now we've said all that can be said about the Sec Abalos and Sec Remulla, but what about these people involved here, diba? What do we consider? There is also this low key, how do you call this, back and forth between the two of them. So I'm not sure. Hindi kasi siya masyadong napapublicize, no? Halimbawa si General Catapang is brought out about the beer and the kubol and all of that. And he's in a very, how do you call this, comfortable position kasi mahirap i-challenge yung sinasabi niya. Di ba? May na-raid kami dito, nakuha yung mga beer. Although may kinocontest yun. Siya lang makakapagsabi nun and hindi makakasagot dyan si General Bantag dahil syempre hindi siya in possession of the office or the place where it is right now. So, sabi ni, I'm not saying that this is all good or this is all negative on the part of General Catapang. He actually had, well, as far as I could see, a good track record as an officer. Pero, kailangan, kumbaga, we also have to remember yung role niya doon sa Mamasapan. I'm not saying that he had any liability at all. Wala po tayong sinasabing ganyan at wala po akong nakikita sa record na ganyan. But it is very controversial. He's very controversial in relation to the decisions that he made na nag-stand down po ang mga armed forces when they could have been in a position to help or to rescue. Sabi ni Bong, naka-standby ang army troops malapit sa Mamasapan at that time pero di makakilos dahil walang, well, I wouldn't go that far, but I think that the general then was conflicted. Kumbaga, you have, and he would only be conflicted if the commander-in-chief nga was giving him orders that were contrary to the instincts of an officer to save lives. Diba? Thank you kay Warren Fontillas for your super sticker. So, sabi ni Michael, sana si Isko na lang binoto ko kayo. Guys, ano yan, buyers remorse? Huwag naman pong ganyan. I'm not sure if that helps any. But why do I bring this up? Kasi nga, it helps us to analyze itong sitwasyon. If you i-consider yung mga sinasabi tungkol kay General Bantag, then let's also balance it out. Let's have a look at General Catapang. And one of the most controversial parts of his career is Mamasapano. So that is something that we have to consider. Hindi natin sinasabi that he has any liability sa Mamasapano, but he was there and the decisions that he made are controversial to this day. Yun yung sinasabi natin dito. But it is something that still we must consider. Ngayon, ito sabi ni Carmen Kimberly, first of all, my name is spelled with an I, so it's Trixie, Trixie. Anong masasabi mo kay Topacio tungkol kay Bantag? No, I would call him first Attorney Topacio. Okay. I have no reason not to believe Atty. Topacio and Fiscal Darwin Cañete. And I am waiting for a response dun sa part ni General Bantag na sagutin niya yon. Kasi hindi pa niya po nasasagot yung particular issue na yon with regard to dito sa mga witnesses na ayon dun sa dalawa ay pinapabalik niya sa Bureau of Corrections dahil kinuha po sila, dahil witnesses po sila laban kay Senator De Lima, ang detention nila ay dito sa Camp Aguinaldo. It was General Bantag as Bucor chief who wanted to bring them back dun sa Bucor. At ang kwento is that ito ay posibleng dahilan kung bakit yung iba nag-recant. Yung iba naman na meligro ang buhay dahil nga nandun sa poder ni General Bantag. And yes, that is something also na we have to consider. Wala po itong connection doon sa kaso niya ngayon. In the same way, wala rin pong connection yung nakaraan ni General Catapang and his role now dito sa Bureau of Corrections. But if anybody